Hello, my name is Shannon Hicks, and this is my video log for Christian Life and Worldview, Class BT 2000 at Victory University. We are to go over our survey we recently did and highlight certain points that we consider to be important. My Worldview Survey was an interview with an atheist. This was meant to be a spin-off of Interview with a Vampire. I was trying to get creative with the title. I interviewed an atheist, which I've known for some time, and we asked questions based on what's the purpose of life, what do you consider the Bible to be, what's the purpose of suffering, and things of that nature. Every answer my friend gave regarding his belief in atheism was very typical of what we read so far in this class. Pretty much thus far in the studying that I've done in regards to atheism and other forms of non-theism, it seems that all of these different isms and istic perspectives outside of Christianity seem to have become nothing more than someone's way of honestly just defying another person's belief. And this is my own personal opinion, of course, and for each of these new worldviews that I've been reading about, it looks as if one person within a certain culture didn't agree with the most current perspective, so they found a functional name for it that best suited the beliefs and gave a philosophical reason as to why their ideals should be accepted as truth, simply because they disagreed with the statement of truth regarding the popular perspective beforehand. So, in one book we were reading, it said that a lot of Western culture was based on theism, or European culture, I apologize, was based on theism, based on God, foundational God principles. Then it took one person to stand up and say, you know what, why do we have to believe in this? Then they go off on their own and they say, I'm just going to believe what I believe, and they give reasons as to why we shouldn't believe in the Bible, why we shouldn't believe in God, and next thing you know, they have a following of people. Then they give it a nice name. You know, we're not theists anymore, we're going to be atheists. You know, we don't believe in God, there's a non-presence of God, so we're atheists, we're opposed to this. And in a sense, it seems that anyone who disagrees with a worldview can simply type up a theological paper explaining why their truth is better, then place an ism behind it, and there we have it. There's a new worldview. Listening to the answers my atheist friend gave, you know, there's no purpose of life. The Bible was simply just something to enslave people. We're enslaved to words in the Bible. We're given false hope. So from reading these things, it did give me a better understanding of how the atheist felt. But at the same time, my question is, why would you want to live in a world without God? Why take away the promises of God? Why not want everlasting life? What is it in you that's so opposed to a God that provides, a God that loves, a God that wants to be a father? What is it that makes you say, you know what, that whole Christianity thing is just not worth it. I would rather do my own thing. I would rather believe that I am the head of my own life and that I make my own choices and my destiny is whatever I choose to make it. That's a dark world to live in, and it makes you wonder, it honestly makes you wonder internally, mentally, what's happening that pushes you to a place to where you don't want to be blessed, or you don't consider yourself worthy of God's blessing, or not even necessarily worthy, that's a bad choice of words, but just a world where those blessings don't exist. I've tried to analyze this, I've thought about it, I've made several assumptions. The only one that I can honestly think of is just, it's their upbringing. In today's society, a lot of people encourage their children to think independently, which is good, but at the same time, they're not placing any foundational roots in their children, any God-like foundational roots in their children. So children are brought up to do their own thing. A lot of people encourage free expression. So you have a lot of middle schoolers who are now homosexuals, because it's free expression. So feel free to express yourself. If you feel like you're gay, you're gay. I don't understand how that works. We're not encouraging any morals in our children anymore. We're not even encouraging them to do necessarily the things that are right. We're just encouraging them to do whatever they feel like doing. And then you have a world full of people who question whether God is real, and they're unwilling to stand on his foundational principles and live free. Why live in a world where you have no future, where you die and return to dust? That's awfully depressing to me. So it seems like when you take God out of something, when you take God out of it, out of your belief, out of your foundation, it seems like depression is what you get. Why live in a world like that? I firmly believe, and this is my own opinion again, that this battle is very spiritual, because I can't understand why the human mind would want to be in a world without God. Even if you don't want to abide by his principles, say that. I just don't want to abide by all those commandments, but at least still have faith that he exists. I believe faith is a foundational principle, and I mean, having faith in God can take you far, far in life, because at least you're acknowledging him. And then I believe everything else will come into play once you at least start with the faith that he is real. Why a person would choose to live in a world where they don't matter, I'll never understand. But one positive thing I can say in regards to the atheist, he did have a very good point in the suffering. He mentioned that suffering is something that helps us grow, and then we can help others. So at least atheists do have hearts. So that was one positive, and one thing I did want to highlight from my survey in a positive light as well. And he did have great respect for his mother also, which amazed me, because some people don't even believe atheists would care about anyone else. And that was proved to be untrue by the interview survey that I did. So I hope that this was in line with my assignment, and God bless.